Hey guys, I'm Reprops, and today I'm going to show you how I made some Covenant plasma pistols from Halo using my 3D printer and some paint. If you guys want the files to print, I'll have the links for those in the description. It's pretty simple, just 3 parts, and I was able to fit all of these in my Ender 3, so I think anyone with a small enough printer should be able to print them. After printing them, I took off the supports and then assembled them. I've been able to hone my printer recently, so I didn't have to sand any of the connections, but you may need to since they're an exact tolerance. I did sand down some of the rough spots from where the supports were just to give it a cleaner look. I'm not going to fill the whole plaster, but I am going to fill just some of these rough spots like the back end of the handle and then the back of the blaster as well as the front of it, just because they have a large slope, and since I'm only printing at a 3.75 millimeter nozzle, it's a pretty rough spot. It doesn't lay it down as smooth as it could be, so I'm just used some files that I had as well as some 220 grit sandpaper to sand those down. I used some Bondo spot filler to fill in the grooves and gaps that I mentioned earlier, and I just applied this with some pieces of cardboard to go through and smooth it down so that it fit nice and snugly inside of all the cracks. I didn't end up sanding this just because I got it smooth enough with the cardboard. So if you put light enough layers down, you don't have to sand this, which is a benefit because the dust of this stuff is pretty toxic. You also want to wear a respirator while applying this because, like I said, it's pretty toxic stuff. It smells absolutely terrible, so I'm sure it's not good for your health. I then spray painted the blaster a nice metallic blue spray paint that I found at the Home Depot. I think this is a Rust-Oleum brand and it looks really sweet. Like, it's a really nice metallic blue. I'm definitely going to be using this paint in the future. Then I went through and used some netting that I got. I actually ripped this out of an old backpack, and then I airbrushed some dark purple paint over it, just lightly laying it across the whole gun to get the diamond pattern that the gun has. After making this, I realized that I actually did it backwards. You want to lay down this purple first and then do the light blue. So when you guys see a second blaster that's more purple than blue, that's why. It's because I printed out another one and did it that way. And then I went through and painted the recessed areas black just to give them the right color. And I just used some matte black acrylic paint that I bought. Actually, my Patreon Matthew covered that paint, so thank you, Matthew. And I just applied this with some brushes that I got for my birthday. They're actually really nice brushes. They cover really well regardless of the paint I'm using, because typically cheap craft paint doesn't cover very well, but these help keep the streaks out, and yeah, they just cover really nice. I painted the recessed area inside of the magazine looking part with a yellow color, and this took me, I'm not gonna lie, like 20 coats of paint to cover it up, because yellow does not cover black very well, and I did not know that until I did this. Otherwise I would have painted it white first and then repainted it black. But yeah, this took me so much time to paint. I spent like 5 days painting this because my paint dries so slow here, because it's pretty cold here right now. And yeah, you might want to paint it white and then paint this and then repaint it black, just because it took so long for me to do this. So keep that in consideration. I then went through and dry brushed all of the black parts with a light gray color just to give it a nice worn look and to highlight some of the details like the grip pattern on the handle and then some of the circular details that are in the gray sections. And I just mixed this paint up using some white and some black. I think it was like 1 drop into like a tablespoon of white paint. And yeah, I really like how that dry brushing turned out. You guys will see the full product in a minute, but it just looks really nice, helps bring out a ton of that detail and give it a little bit of a worn look like it has in the game. So here's the final blaster, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I really like how the diamond pattern turned out, and the orange covered pretty well now. The purple blaster I think turned out really nice because it looks way more accurate to the source material, though I do like the metallic blue one. If you guys end up printing these, be sure to send me a make on Thingiverse. If you guys don't mind supporting me through Patreon, that would be great. It really helps me make better videos and be able to pay for more expensive materials like foam and resin and whatnot. If you guys don't mind liking and subscribing, that would be great. Let me know what builds and stuff you guys want me to do, and I'll see if I can't make them. See you guys next vid. Bye.